Hey, what's up, guys? This is Gamers Nation 1234, and unfortunately, we are not having our cameras on due to connection issues. So we're just gonna be talking to you like this, like if it's a podcast. Hopefully, it doesn't bore you. I am one of your hosts, Will, and with us today on this episode, we have Thuggy Plus. Hey, Thuggy.
So y'all.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Next, we have Trent with us. Hey, Trent.
Hello.
All right, hello. Now we got Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Hey guys, what's up panel? What's up Gamers Nation 1234 and everybody out there on the internet?
Okay. Next we got Games. Hey, Games.
Hello, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Gaze, aka the Neighborhood Gamer. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. Next we have Bawse. Hey, Bawse.
Heavy's the head that wear the crown. They try to hold me back. Eugene is no longer rocking, but the boss is here. Don't forget to subscribe to me at BAWSE Boss.
Better. Link will be in the description. So, Denny, are you there? Are you awake? Probably not.
It's Friday. Come on, yeah.
It's Friday, but you know he was feeling a little under the weather, so that's probably why. So that's probably why he is asleep and tired. You know, you can't expect it today. All right, so the topic at hand is that we know that PAX is this weekend. It started today, and Nintendo actually kicked things off early this morning with the Japanese Nintendo Direct. And they announced a few things. They announced that in Super Smash Bros. That Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii is now officially a character, which basically confirms that the leaks that have been happening earlier this week are 100% true and legit. All right, and then also they announced a new 3DS and 3DS XL. And some of the features on this XL is that you get a second slider, so basically you got another second stick. You have two additional buttons, the ZL and the ZR buttons. You can change the cover plates on your 3DS and change it to anything that you want. It also sports a faster CPU, so your downloads will be faster and your online connectivity will be really, really good. There's also wider 3DS angles. There's a micro card, SD card slot, and NFC tech built in. There's a new 3DS firmware scheduled to come out this October, which allows you to change your backgrounds and all that stuff. And this portable system, 3DS, there's two versions, will be coming out in Japan on October 11th, 2014, and 2015 everywhere else, but no specific date was given. They also announced that a few new games called Bravely Second, the sequel to Bravely Default for the 3DS. They also announced a new game called Final Fantasy Explorers, which is basically Final Fantasy in the form of Monster Hunter. They also announced that what was it? Monster Hunter 3DS, a new 3DS for Monster Hunter, and a new 3DS for Super Smash Bros. Yeah, that's cool. They also announced Xenoblade Chronicles. The Wii is getting ported over to the 3DS, but however, you need to have this new 3DS to play it. So yes, I just found that out, that this game is pretty much exclusive to the new 3DS and not the old ones, even if you have Circle Pad Pro. It needs the online and the extra RAM that it has in order for it to work. So, how does everybody feel about this Nintendo Direct? I know that not a lot of people actually saw it, but I'm pretty sure you guys saw pictures and saw things about it. So, Thuggy, how do you feel about the new 3DS XL? Will you be the 3DS or the 3DS XL? Will you plan on getting one? And what feature is really grabbing you the most about it?
Yeah, I'm excited about the new 3DS models they got out, and I do plan on getting the model. I'm gonna get, of course, the smaller one. I don't know. not a big fan of big handhelds. But what features that really caught my attention? None really. I just was I was just focusing on the design of the new 3DS. It's good that they got the faceplate that you can switch around and stuff, which is cool.
Mm.
And I like that we got the themes come into the system as well, so you screen won't look boring. And
that's true.
I'm happy that they add the little circle pad onto the game. You don't gotta get the circle pad pro, which I never got it because it was too big for both people. But overall, I like the new design for it, but it's really not like software or hardware wise. It's really not that got me excited. And I just like the design of it.
Mm. So you just like the colored buttons, the X, A, B, Y buttons, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
What about game wise? Was there any games that they showed? Because I know you're an RPG guy. So was there any games that they showed you that like really caught your attention?
Yeah, the Final Fantasy game, but I'm not sure if that's gonna end up coming to North America. But if that does come, I will get that game. And I already knew about the Monster Hunter 4 game. Of course, I'm gonna pick that one up. I already got the Monster Hunter 3 for the 3DS right now. The number 4 going to let you play online, so I gotta get that one.
Oh wow, I'm excited! I know. Okay, so you got the new Monster Hunter, and you're gonna get the smaller 3DS just because it's a new 3DS. None of the features excite you. Trent, how do you feel about? I don't know if you saw. You didn't see the Nintendo Direct. So how do you feel about the 3DS and 3DS XL, the new one?
What?
How do you feel about the new 3DS and 3DS XL? Did you see it?
No, I didn't see a picture. I need to look at it. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Oh, you heard about it, but you didn't see it. You know what?
I read it in text on Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna send you my video of today, which you guys could be watching on my channel. So I'll send it to you. So you can watch in the background, and I'll get back to you with the question.
But I'm not really interested in.
I know, but you want to look at it. I just want you to see what you think of it design wise. That's all. So I guess I know you're not interested in it, but I'm gonna be sending it to you in this chat here, and there you go. So you can watch it whenever you want. Lynn, how do you feel about the new How did you feel about the Nintendo Direct overall? And do you plan on getting this 3DS or 3DS XL?
Well, the Direct was awesome. Even though I didn't understand nothing they were saying, but it was really good. I mean, I'm waiting for somebody to translate the whole entire thing, but everything that they spoke about in the Direct, I'm definitely getting. I love RPGs anyway, and Xenoblade Chronicles looks awesome. I mean, they all do. You know, the Final Fantasy game. I mean, they are just. I just love RPGs. So this was an RPG extravaganza. The worlds, they're so lush and beautiful. They're gorgeous. The music is always nice, and you know, in different areas, it's very soothing. And then it kind of amps up when you get into the little fight scenes and stuff. I'm just so looking forward to. I mean, seeing that, hoping that they all come here to the States. I'm very much looking forward to every single game that they announced, and I'm definitely getting the new 3DS XL. I'll just sell my old one, and because of what it offers, and it will pair well with Monster Hunter 4. Especially, and I'm assuming Super Smash Brothers as well. So, and of course, they also moved where you put the little cartridges in. They moved it to the front left-hand side of the console instead of the back. So, I think the design overall is really nice. I don't know how that's going to pan out with the ZR and ZL buttons, because they seem like they're past the L and the R button. going towards the inside of the towards the middle of the console. So it'll take some it'll take some getting used to. I like the fact that the screen's going to be bigger. Them changing up the type of memory, the type of SD cards and stuff you can use, I think that's good too. You can use micro SD cards. They're not that expensive now. You can still get you a 32 gigabyte micro SD card for what, 10, 20, like $20, $25, if that. So, overall, I think they are making a step for the better in handhelds. I think it seems that they're really trying to focus on getting this console in as many hands as possible, because just as people like to customize their cell phones, now you could customize your 3DS. And I think that is so cool because it kind of takes away from that bland look that a lot of the consoles have, the handhelds, and it gives you a fresh, it's almost like a fresh system. It's almost as if, from this day to the next day, it's almost as if you have a brand new handheld, because you can change your face plates, your plates and stuff, and then it comes with themes as well. So I really love that. That way, it's not bland, it's not boring, and things are more lively. So I'm just very excited. I about hit the roof when I was watching this direct this morning. I know I might sound like a fangirl right now. I honestly don't care what anybody thinks, because I know that this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Hopefully this is coming out early next year. I don't know, how far in advance, but I'm almost certain that the new 3DS is coming here. I don't know about all the games, but I want it. I'm going to pre-order it as soon as I know about it, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm so excited. Nintendo is doing it. They doing it up. They doing it up right now.
They doing it up. But what would you say is your absolute number one feature of the new 3DS?
I can't pinpoint a number one. The first thing that popped in my head is the larger screen and the C-stick.
Okay, all right. We're gonna go to games. Did you see this? I don't know if you saw the direct, but did you see the pictures of the 3DS and the 3DS XL?
Yeah, I've been looking at it now, looking at different pictures.
And what's your opinion? What's your opinion on it based on the look?
Based on the look, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get a 3DS.
Awesome.
I'm glad I waited for one, because now I get to change up and be super duper personalize my console, my handheld. So I'm loving that. I'm loving the fact that hopefully they'll have a system to where you can actually go in deeper, where you can use your own pictures or your own things and just order them and have them make different faceplates and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So
either that or skins.
Or skins, yeah.
Yeah, but Nintendo, everybody know Nintendo has the handheld market on lock. Nobody is coming close to Nintendo when it comes to handhelds.
I agree.
So they could just pretty much put out anything they want in the handheld market, and everybody's gonna buy it, because they just have that market so down pat.
Yeah, that is absolutely 100% positively true. But all right, I know that this is a long shot. Danny, he's still sleeping. All right, Bawse, how you doing, Bawse? How do you feel about? Did you see this Nintendo Direct? And if you did, how do you feel about the new 3DS XL?
Well, I didn't get a chance to see the actual Nintendo event. I'm a big critic of Nintendo because I want it to do well, and I know they can do well, but what they're doing now with the 3DS is great. I had a 3DS and I gave it to my nephew, but with the one that's about to come out, or hopefully next year, 2015, if it's not pushed back, it actually looked like it's going to sell the actual unit. due to the fact that it got bigger buttons. I believe it has the bigger screen, better CPU, better specs means better gameplay, and more gamers flocking to it. It was very smart for them to do it because this is one of their consoles that they have that is actually selling, that has continued to sell. So overall, I think it was a really good job and really good move for them.
Hmm. And you know what? Trent, before I say before what I have to say, Trent, did you see the video? Did you see the pictures? What do you think?
I saw your video.
Uh,
Nice video, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm not interested in neither that character you showed, or the 3DS thing.
Whatever.
I'm just no.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion. But like, no, I know that there's people out there like that. You know, what's the point of getting a handheld if you don't go out and use the handheld for what it's supposed to be used for? But you know, here's how I feel about the whole Nintendo thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting super excited. First off, I'm excited as hell that Shulk is officially in the game, and that trailer is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to hear the Xenoblade Chronicles CD on there. So I had to make sure, by the way, about that. And I will mention more about Super Smash Bros. After this one. But how I feel about Nintendo's Direct was it was freaking amazing. Even though I did not understand, like Lynn said, even though I didn't understand not one single word that was being said in this part.
Except 3DS.
Except for new 3DS, new 3DS, new 3DS LL, new 3DS LL. You know, things like that. I understood that, of course. So I'm like, damn. What is the new Super the Smash Brothers, the Final Fantasy, you know, things like that. I understood. Oh, they also had a One Piece game. I forgot to mention that. Okay. How do I feel about this? I want it. I hate Nintendo. I love Nintendo, but I hate Nintendo because I bought my 3DS last year. Or was it this year? I don't remember. No, it was last year. I bought a 3DS XL last year. And it was a limited edition Pokemon one. I was not thinking that Nintendo would make a move like this because this is so not what Nintendo normally does. They don't actually listen to people when they want features on the 3DS. So I'm really surprised that Nintendo went this extra route to allow all this stuff. And not only, oh my god, it's powerful. It actually makes your games look better. A wide view 3DS, like 3D, like you could look at 3D. From different angles and stuff. I think that's cool. I think it's cool. We'll find out in October when actual people buy it and see how fast that internet really is and how fast it goes and the difference. I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait for this 3DS to come out just so that way I can get that second stick. I feel like this 3DS was made strictly for Super Smash Brothers. And that's what I want to get it for. I really want to get it for Super Smash Brothers, even though it's not really necessary. But I really want it. But I also want Xenoblade Chronicles. And Chronicles, unfortunately, you can't play it on the old 3DSs. You have to play it on this new one because this is a port of a Wii game going onto a 3DS. So that I think was kind of a crap move on Nintendo. But yeah, that firmware that lets you create your own custom backgrounds. Done. Nintendo's this week was Nintendo's week. I have to say the leak, the DLC for Mario Kart, the freaking what Shigeru Miyamoto said, what Iwata said about DLC. Oh my God! Just like everything was just amazing. The Amiibos finally got a pricing and a release rate. Yeah, and you can pre-order them right now on Amazon. Just
really?
Yes, you can.
Uh-oh.
There's 12 figurines in the first set, and they're $12.99 each.
About to look now, Will.
They are there, and they are so cool. I want them. So if you want all 12 of them, and you live in the United States, you're looking at $155 for all 12.
Oh, that's too much.
So just letting you guys know that's as much as like the new DS. So
they should do packs. They should do them in a series of packs.
They should, but I think they're gonna sell them single for now, but eventually they'll put them in packs. I think they will. But I don't know. I guess I don't know. So how does it? What does everybody feel on the amiibos and the pricing, and does it even interest you? So we're gonna go backwards on this one. Boss, how do you feel about the amiibos? Do you plan on getting it, or do you think that was a smart move on Nintendo to do that if you weren't interested in it?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was pretty cool. I mean, because there's a lot of nostalgia that Nintendo carries. So any type of figure or action figure that you can also implement as a major staple point in a game, why not? That would be a pretty good idea, something that could be lucrative, and you can actually make some money. So, I mean, even if it's a character that I really don't care for, I would just get it to just collect it, to be quite honest.
There you go.
So do you think that $12.99 is a fair price for
Absolutely, that's more than fair. I mean, I think that's giving it away, because if they don't sell it, then it's not going to be sold. So, I think that you couldn't get it anywhere else. So you might as well just pay whatever they're asking for is reasonable, and $12.99 is fairly reasonable.
Okay, all right. I'm surprised. Okay, all right, games. How do you feel about the amiibo figures? Are you gonna get any of them? And do you think $12.99 is a fair price?
I wanted to get the amiibos, but when I heard they're what $12.99 per amiibo per figure, I'm like, that's because what if I want like 5 of them? I really don't want to spend that much money on something that's only implemented in a few games right now. I think the only game that's going to be is implemented and definitely is for Smash Brothers, right?
Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
And it will be like day one, like as soon as you get it,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah,
Mario Kart?
that's why they're adding DLC to Mario Kart, because the characters that they're showing, they're going to start adding extra characters as DLC. Nintendo's starting to add DLC to all of its games to allow other characters from other franchises, just so you can use the amiibos on all the games.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to change my mind then. I want to get it.
Okay, wait a minute, Will. Say that again.
Yeah, please.
Okay, according to what I've read, Iwata said something about DLC. And what he was talking about when he was mentioning DLC, he's saying that we don't want to be that type of company that gives you an incomplete game and then say add DLC later. So we're giving you a complete game, but we're giving you the option to play with other characters that are outside of the franchise and putting them in that game. So Link will be Link could possibly be in a Star Fox game as a pilot or something. I don't know. Like in Mario Party, maybe Link, Pit, Peach, all those people Peach is normally in it, but people that normally aren't in a Nintendo game will be in a Nintendo game and will somehow be available to use the amiibo in the game. So then Nintendo's doing the pricing thing, so that way that you get so much stuff for very little. So yeah.
So in a nutshell, you saying I could take the Samus figurine and put her in Mario Kart or put her in Star Fox?
When the DLC comes out, because they're planning on DLC, so unfortunately not all the stuff is going to be available day one. But they do plan on adding DLC. So Link is already going to be a DLC for Super Smash Brothers in November. So that amiibo, when the amiibo comes out, you can use Link's figure or Peach's figure or Mario's figure, and you can use the amiibo day one.
Question: what if you didn't get the amiibo, but you want the DLC in that particular game?
You can still get the DLC. You don't need the amiibo. The amiibo is just extra. Like if let's say that you bought the amiibo strictly for Super Smash Brothers, but you happen to get the DLC because you want the DLC to play the game, you can still use the amiibo figure that you got originally for Super Smash Brothers and just put it in the game if that's what you want. But you don't have to use the amiibo figure. The amiibo figure is just like for like ghost trials and things like that. It really doesn't add any. Well, as far as we know, Nintendo's basically shown that they're like Ghost or like sparring partners or whatever. So, and you level them up. So, yeah. So,
And how many are there?
there's 12 when they first launch, and you can pre-order them at Target or you can pre-order them at Amazon. So yeah. So Lynn, how do you feel about these amiibo figures? Do you think that the $12.99 is a good price?
I think they should have been a little cheaper, or at least offer them in the form of a set. Like do a set for maybe $29.99. At least that's how they did with the Infinity, like the Disney Infinity characters. But I mean, 12 of them, subtotal is $155.88. So that's a lot of money for some amiibo characters, to be honest. But I mean, it's Nintendo. So Nintendo, to me, their name spells quality. Their name spells durability. Their name spells collectors. So, as Bawse said, if anything, get them and just have them. To just have them. I mean, it may sound silly, but you're gonna make money off of these characters, and they're probably gonna be hard to find. You know, as the game comes out. So, if you could pre-order them, pre-order them.
Exactly. I just hope that they come with an amiibo figure when you buy a game. That's when you get Super Smash Brothers or something like that.
I doubt it will.
I know, but we'll see. Trent, how do you feel about the amiibo figures? Do you think $12.99 is a fair price, and do you plan on getting any in the future?
I don't think that's a good price. Maybe $10, but that's just $2 or like.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree with Lynn. It should be a little cheaper, but I don't agree with everyone else. I'm not interested, and I think it's kind of a dumb idea. It may be a more lucrative idea for Nintendo, like to make money off of it, but I'm not interested in it at all.
Okay, so no amiibo figures for you.
Not even for collecting.
All right, yeah. See, you gotta understand, folks, that Trent doesn't have that rich Nintendo history, so obviously none of this stuff he would care about. So, okay, Thuggy, how do you feel about the amiibos? Do you plan on getting them eventually in the future, whether if it's just collecting or actually using it, or do you think it's a dumb idea? And do you think $12.99 is a fair price? Wow, I asked a lot of questions there.
I kind of wanted to be a little bit cheaper, but I understand though that it's like a risk. I think it is a reasonable price, but I would like it to be cheaper. But I'm not really interested in it. I need to like actually see it in action. See what all it offers to the games before I think about picking it up. It depends. I probably would get a couple, maybe. Not too sure. I gotta see more of it before I determine if I would get it. I don't really know too much about it.
Me personally, I think, look, obviously I would want the price to be cheaper because I want to be able to get as much as I possibly can day one without having to seem like I'm going to be spending like $200 on this. So I totally know where that's coming from. But I mean, but I think $12.99 is a fair price. I mean, compared to what's in it, what the chips are and stuff. Eventually, but this is Nintendo. Do I plan on using any of these amiibos? No. I'm just gonna keep them. I'm buying them, keeping them in their boxes, and waiting 20 years later and then selling them then. That is what I'm doing. Because, look, the thing is that these things are going to be hard to find. So if you happen to see all 12 of them in the store, that is the best time to buy it. So that way that you are guaranteed to have every single one, and then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about anything else. Because if let's say that they made very little of Wii Fit Trainer because nobody gives a crap about Wii Fit Trainer, and she's so hard to find because they made very little of her, and you saw her day one, but now you're seeing that it's going on sale for like $50, and it's only $12.99. But then eventually the price goes up and up and up and up because people want to collect the whole collection, because Super Smash Brothers has so far confirmed, well, with the leak, 48 characters in it. So that's 48 amiibos.
That's a lot of money.
Getting. And then on top of that, we're not even counting if there's going to be the limited edition amiibos, or if there's going to be like any special ones or multi versions of one, like Mario in a Tanuki suit or Link in a red suit or blue suit. We don't know honestly how far this amiibo idea is going to go, but people are going to want the whole damn collection. No matter what it is, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how similar it is, no matter how stupid the character is that they choose, but that means that the Duck Hunt dog is going to be an amiibo, Mega Man's going to be an amiibo, Pac-Man's going to be an amiibo, like everything is going to be an amiibo from Super Smash Brothers. Robin, the Fire Emblem characters, it's crazy. I want them all. I want them all because Super Smash Brothers is my game, obviously, and yeah. So, speaking of Super Smash Brothers, I know that nobody cares that Shulk was revealed because nobody's like getting super excited about it, so we're just gonna skip that part. But for those of you who are planning on buying both the 3DS and the Wii U version, if you register them online, they give you the soundtrack for free. You have to register both games, though, the 3DS and the Wii U version, in order to get the soundtrack. Now, those of you who have never experienced Super Smash Brothers, you are missing out on a lot, and I'm going to say it again, a lot, times infinity a lot of good music. Okay, because like this is all of Nintendo's history in music. A lot of the composers from very famous games like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, my God, like all the old original Nintendo games are working on remixes and regular stuff and from all series of these characters. So it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So how do you feel? Okay, now also the last thing that I want to mention is not Super Smash Bros. Related, but it's something that Shigeru Miyamoto said. And he said that Nintendo is no longer going to focus on casual gamers, that they're going to focus on the core gamers now. And Iwata said something about the DLC, which is what I told you earlier, that he says that we don't want to jip people when it comes to pricing DLC. We're going to give you a full game experience. But if you would like extra stuff, it's there. But, so all right, so I feel like Nintendo is like absolutely killing it this week. This is Nintendo's week. And some people may disagree. Some people are not excited about any of the stuff that Nintendo announced. They probably are pissed off because they just bought a 3DS or something like that, like me. But seriously, I love that Nintendo is finally like putting on its boxing gloves and just prepping for the fight of its life. I am so happy, and I hope that all this stuff that was released in Japan doesn't stay in Japan, that it actually comes to other countries. So my question is to you, how do you feel about Nintendo's new approach? And do you think that it's going to work in their favor? Because next year, they already got next year packed. Every month, a guaranteed Nintendo game for next year. So, we're going to start with Bawse again. Bawse, how do you feel about Nintendo's new strategy?
I think that the strategies are good, but Nintendo has to be very, very careful when they say we're not going to support casual gamers, because casual gamers are the people who have been the fan base, or at least the base of their supporters so far. So you don't want to make people feel in some type of way and make them feel like, well, you're not going to be making games for me anymore, or you're only going to make games for the people that aren't supporting your console, because you don't want to divide your base. I think you want to bring people in and have them game on it. So ultimately, their practice right now sounds really good. It sounds great. It sounds better than it sounded a month ago or 2 months ago. As far as what they're trying to do with the games, I think they have to do this because they're not going to get any third-party support with the practices and the business model that they have been practicing throughout the years. So ultimately, yes, but you got to be very careful with your terminology, because once you alienate people They're not going to come back. They're going to go right over to Sony. They're going to go right over to Microsoft.
But I think that what Shigeru Miyamoto, I think maybe I said that phrase wrong. Maybe if I get the actual quote, but it's going to take too long to find it. What was that? Okay. But what was I going to say? Shigeru Miyamoto said that it's still appealing to casuals, but I think what he meant to say is that they're going to start listening to the core gamers, because originally their original audience was casuals, and they absolutely ignored the core gamers. Every now and again, they kind of fed to the core gamer, but it was not like what they're planning, like the way he's talking now. So he says we're going to focus a little bit more on the core gamer, but
that's a problem. But see, because that was the problem with the Wii U. You didn't say things correctly. You didn't present things correctly so that people can understand. Communication is the big problem with Nintendo. So if you're not conveying your message across the way it needs to be to the people that need to hear it, you're going to continue to go through the turmoil they're going through. So it can't be interpreted what he means when he speaks. It has to be understood at face value the minute that he says it. See, that's the problem that Nintendo has. Microsoft doesn't have that with Phil Spencer, and I forgot the Sony head. He doesn't have that. You know what I mean? The interpretation of what he's trying to convey to the consumer. So Nintendo has to be very careful, and he has to be more precise with the way he says things.
Yeah, normally, but everybody knows that English is not the first language of the of like the majority of the Nintendo higher ups, and they need to hire people.
But then it needs to be. It needs to be because you're marketing here to us. You're not marketing to your homeland, so you need to figure out a way to speak the language of the people that you're selling your product to. That doesn't. You can't continue to. That can't be used as a crutch to why the system isn't going or selling the way it should. At this particular point, those guys are like 50, 60 years old. You got to know something by now, as long as they're in business, right?
But no, I know that they have certain things as well. Also, in bad news for Nintendo, I'll ask everybody else, but Nintendo just laid off 392 workers on their European Nintendo thing. And I'm like, oh my god, wow. But anyways, we're gonna go to games real quick. Games.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Nintendo's new strategy and Miyamoto saying that the focus is going to, I guess, I can't even explain it, but I think he just says that they're going to start focusing a little bit more on the core gamers.
Well, it sounds good on paper, but they have to really implement it. They have to really put that business plan and put that thought into motion, and they can't go at it half-assed. You know what I mean? They have to really, if they really want the Wii U to survive in the sea of the PS4 and the Xbox One, they really have to fight. Like, there's no more pushover. You know, you had your chance. You had the chance to put your console on top when you came out a year ahead of the competition, and you did nothing with that whole year. So now you're really playing catch up in terms of winning the people over. So if they want to really sit down and say we're going to focus more on hardcore titles, whether it be more mature rated titles, whether it be more innovative things to get people to look over at your company, they really have to go for it pretty much. They can't just say, okay, we're going to do it, and then maybe come out with 1 or 2 commercials every 2 weeks, or you know, have a press conference and then don't say anything, but just talk about, you know, stuff that we don't really care about. They have to really put the plan in motion. So it sounds good on paper. I'm happy that they're going about it this way, because Nintendo is a brand that needs to be in this competition. They need to be in this quote-unquote console war, so that everybody stays on their toes. Because I said it time and time again, Nintendo is the innovative. They're the innovative person in this whole three-way struggle. You know, they're the ones that can get things done and make ideas happen to make the other two look at them like, wow, we need to change up. So hopefully it's a good plan, and hopefully more people will be susceptible to go over to Nintendo and buy the Wii U or buy the next home console whenever that may be.
Yeah. Lynn, how do you feel about Nintendo's new strategy?
Repeat the
Focusing.
question.
Well, basically, Miyamoto, the guy from Nintendo, said that their focus is to focus more on the core gamer. So, how do you feel? How do you feel about that as a strategy?
This is for what? Just the Wii U or?
Well, I think it's for Nintendo in general.
Well, there's more than just. I mean, define core gamer.
Well, like a core gamer is a person that like plays like the hardcore Nintendo stuff, like
Oh
Mario
no.
Galaxy.
There's more than one specific type of gamer.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can't, as Bawse said, you can't just alienate other gamers just because you feel that maybe certain games may not be selling the way you want them to. Then you need to market them differently,
Well,
or
actually, I think
market them to begin with. I mean, they seem to be lacking when it comes to promoting products.
I think the definition of core gamers are like between casual and core gamers are gamers who play for long periods of time and really use it as a habit. And casuals are just more people that just pick it up and kind of play it for like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then they just kind of walk away. So like that form of core gamers. So,
Well, money is money.
That's true.
It doesn't matter if it comes from hardcore people or casual people or whatever. Money is money, and that and the consumer themselves should be their focus. Not, I mean, them doing what they're doing doesn't seem like it would help them as a company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't agree with it.
All right,
But
Trent.
I guess everybody has their own business practices, so.
It's true. It's true. Trent, how do you feel about Nintendo's strategy in this? It's focusing more on the core gamer.
I don't know what to think really. I'll just say one thing. I hope that that decision that they're making will be a good one, and wish Nintendo the best for. That's all. I don't want to say anything negative about Nintendo, but yeah, I'm just a little worried about them. So I just hope that they be successful for the rest of this year, this fall season, and for next year.
Okay. Okay, I think I found the exact quote that he said. So he said a big part of original Wii's success was the way it brought casual and non-gamers into the industry for the first time through games like Wii Sports and Wii Fit. But going forward, Nintendo will focus its efforts on making games for the core crowd, suggests Shigeru Miyamoto, the man who created Mario and works at the company as a senior managing director. In an interview with Edge magazine, Miyamoto said that he is no longer interested in making games that cater to people who only passively enjoy games. So that's what he said. So this is the exact quote that he said. These are the sort of people who, for example, might want to watch a movie. They might want to go to Disneyland, he said. Their attitude is okay. I am a customer. You are supposed to entertain me. It's kind of a passive attitude they're taking. And to me, it's kind of a pathetic thing. They do not know how interesting it is if you move one step further and try to challenge yourself with more advanced games. That's what his quote was. So
well, that still kind of sounds demoralizing.
It really does. It really does. Dougie, how do you feel about this whole Miyamoto saying that he wants to focus more on core gamers?
Well, if we talk about like not doing like the Wii Sports and all them little mini games thing, I think it's a good idea because they could use the money that they make on them little games for some bigger games, I guess. I only got too much to say about this stuff really.
I honestly think that what he means is, well, the thing is that, look, if it's too cryptic that we have to explain it like Boss said, then that's a poor marketing. That's a poor way to explain your marketing thing. So really, especially from a guy like Miyamoto, what this excites me. I consider myself a core gamer. And even though, I'll play games like Wii Sports, and I'll play things that what do you call it? Sing Party or Wii Party U, or things that are passive that people that core gamers don't really pay no mind to, and I'll be focusing more on Mario Kart. I believe that Nintendo is the only company that has the potential to bring all audiences in. And I feel like, look, they do need to pay more attention to core gamers. The way he said it was wrong, but he's right in that he needs to focus more on core gamers. Because the thing is that you're not getting anything. You're not getting any core gamer attention, and you're not getting any casual attention. The only reason Mario Kart sold because core gamers bought a Wii U, not the casuals. And then if you look at other core games, because a lot of people are buying PlayStation 4, buying Xbox, they're core gamers, and they're still selling incredibly well. So that's why I'm saying normally a casual will buy a Xbox One maybe for the entertainment features, but that's still there, So if they want the camera and they want to talk to the TV and say Xbox, go to Netflix or whatever, then they have the option to do that. But when it comes to, or PlayStation, if they just want if they want a cheap Blu-ray player that also can, eventually play 4K movies one day, and I don't know, if a casual goes into that depth of a research, when I look at a casual, I'm just looking at a person that just wants to play, like Wii Sports for like 5 seconds and then they're done. Honestly, that is a passive attitude, what he's saying, and these people are not willing to sit there and challenge themselves to play games a bit further. So he's just saying that we don't want to cater to that passive attitude. And yes, that comes across as harsh. It's a very harsh thing to say. But I don't think he meant it in, that deep, dark way. But obviously, yes, if you're a businessman, you need to learn how to speak to the people and speak respectively.
That goes back to what, Dirty been saying over the past couple episodes, that they need different presidents for different regions, because that language barrier. See, now we're looking at it over here in America like, well, what do you mean? Like, I paid my money just like the person who's been playing games for 50 years and completing each game. I paid the same amount of money. So you're going to just leave me out because they're not buying your console? So that's why there needs to be some way, like again, I don't know how else to put it. There needs to be presidents set up in different regions to where, because I'm pretty sure if there was someone who spoke English naturally, they could have interpreted what they wanted to say without it coming across that way. Because now that's the vibe that most of the people is getting. We're getting like, okay, so now there's going to be a division between hardcore gamers and casual gamers within your one company. That's something you don't want, because now you got a division between, and this is for your brand. You want everybody to come together. You want people to come to you. You don't want people to fight amongst each other in your camp. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So also, like I said, it sounds good on paper. I just hope that Nintendo follows through with it.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, I think they lost their way when it was around the GameCube era. Once the GameCube was out, because we had Resident Evil 4, and we had those core games that everybody wanted to play. But along the way, they just started leaving the people that grew up with Nintendo. Like the people who actually grew up with Nintendo since the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo days, they're kind of like pushed us off to the side, and they started worrying about the newer generation. And that's what lost them, and that's what got them so trapped in this pit that they're trying to get out now. So if they would have just kept like, just okay, you got the new generation coming up. You got the kids, they into Mario, they into all that stuff. But then you have the other people that's grew up with you since the Nintendo days, since the original Nintendo days. You have them, so once in a while, throw a few mature rated games in your mix. It is not going to hurt you. It's only going to benefit you more because you got those people that been with you for the longest, and you're bringing in new people every single time you come out with a new console. Every single year when you got new IPs coming out for your console.
Mm. See, the thing is that I have to disagree when you said that Nintendo lost their way. I get what you mean, but the thing is that the faces, Mario's still there. Samus is there, and I felt like they expanded it, and it worked because from GameCube to Nintendo to the Wii, that sold incredibly well. Like that was Nintendo's biggest system, I would say. It was a huge system. Now the only thing was that it was like what PlayStation is now. It's selling a lot of systems, but there's nothing to play on it. And even though that there's those core games and stuff, casuals were playing it because of the controller. The controller was the cool thing. It was the selling point of the console. But it took away. They took a sacrifice, and even though that sacrifice was beneficial because they got a lot of money out of it, they lost their core market, and they didn't do both. They said, look, if they would have done something, I don't know, different, like let's say that they released 2 versions of the Wii U. Like, for example, when the Wii U came out, let's just say that this was the approach they took. They had a Wiimote bundle or the gamepad bundle or whatever, and then they had the Pro Controller bundle. So for those who don't want the gimmicks, can play hardcore Nintendo stuff. And for those who want the gimmicks, have that option. And if you want the gimmicks in later, you can buy the controllers later. But, if Nintendo took that approach and actually stated it was a new console when they first announced the Wii U and not as a controller and made it look like it was a peripheral for the Wii, maybe it would have done a lot better. But doing a whole year and dedicating it to Luigi, which is Mario's lesser half, that's sad. For a whole year. And wasting it on Luigi. No.
Luigi get no love. He never get no love, so I don't know.
Well, no, the thing is that, look, I love Luigi, but actually give him good games, please. I mean, I think the only good game that they had was the 3DS Luigi's Mansion, and that was it. The Luigi Brothers U was Mario Brothers U with Luigi on it. That's it. That's all it was. And then there was Dr. Luigi. It was Dr. Mario. He's always going to be Mario's shadow. Give him his own unique game. Luigi Mansion was his own unique game. That was it. But, okay, we're going to move away from Nintendo because we've talked about Nintendo a lot. So we have PAX. And, okay, last episode we talked about that the creators of Saints Row were, the series, were going to announce a new game today. And we finally found out what that game was. And guess what it is? Another remake, Saints Row 4.
Oh, wow.
Re-election edition for Xbox and for PlayStation 4.
I'm done.
So, Games, how do you feel about that? I know you say you're done, but how do you...
What is with this remastered trend that got every company, every publisher, every developer jumping on this bandwagon? We get it. Yes, some people haven't played the previous versions of your game. That does not mean that you have to go out and make a remastered version of the game just so you could cash in on people, get a few bucks for it. I am tired of these remasters. I am tired of these remakes. And it's getting to the point where it's like, why do I have these consoles? I'm about to just switch over to the PC completely because it is getting aggravated. It is getting frustrating to the point where it's like, who asked for a Saints Row remastered edition? I don't know anybody who had a petition out or made a YouTube video saying, yes, we want a remastered version of Saints Row 4. Nobody said that. So why would you go out and announce that? Nobody asked for that. It's crazy because all these companies is jumping on the remastered trend. That money could be used for a new title. It could be used for a new IP. So what? You have to wait a couple of years to release it. So what? If you that desperate, wait a couple more years and release all of your past games on one disc. Wow, it's just crazy to me. I don't know anybody who asked for it.
All right, Boss, how do you feel about Saints Row 4 getting a reboot?
Actually, I was really disappointed. The company that makes it, Volition, it seems like they're just going to continue to actually profit off of that particular brand because people are going to continue to buy it, at the end of the day. So, until people vote with their wallets, you know what I mean, and not with their emotions about a game and how fun it is and how weird it is. You know what? It kind of reminds me of Dead Rising. You know what I mean? In the sense where Dead Rising, it's a zombie game if you didn't know, and you kill zombies, but the way that you kill them is what was the fun factor and the appealing factor to selling that game. It wasn't the seriousness of the game and the tone of the game. And Saints Row was the GTA knockoff or spin-off where it brought all that seriousness down. It brought more fun and laughter and crazy things you can do. You can beat people with dildos and all of that in the face. I mean, listen, it was cool when it came out because it was different. It was an alternative. But now that there's so many different alternatives that are actually better than that one, and it seems like the company just continues to port the same game over with different stories, the aesthetics of it and what they showed so far in the trailer, I was disappointed because it wasn't really showing the potential of the Xbox and the PS4. It really just showed that they were just really it's more like a grab and dash type situation when they keep putting Saints Row 4 out. They just want to grab as much money they can make off it, and some idiot is gonna be like, "Oh, Saints Row was so funny." It wasn't that funny. The last one was really whack, personally, to me, with the whole superpowers and come on, man, like where you going with this? So I mean, you're gonna have people out there that support it, but I was heavily disappointed in it.
Oh, okay. So we got two absolutely nots. So I'm going to save Lynn for last because I know she has a rant moment boiling up in her skin. So we're going to go with Thuggy on this one. Thuggy, how do you feel about a remake of Saints Row 4? And does it even interest you one bit?
Well, I don't really care about the remake. I don't. Wait, what's the question again?
Like, how do you feel about so many remakes? Basically, is the question. Like, how do you feel about all these remakes?
I don't know. Just let them do what they want to do with their money, wasting it, I guess. Just waste their money if they want to. The sales are proof. They need to stop it, I guess. But I ain't even check out that Saint Rose video. I saw it, but I ain't even bothered to click on it. Cause after I played the third one, I was done with it. Done with the series.
Trent, how do you feel about Saints Row 4 getting a remaster or a remake?
These remakes, it's kind of funny because like all the remakes kind of are for like next gen PS4 and the Xbox One. It's basically there's just a PC version, so the PC people are just laughing.
Not even.
I mean, it's just
it's like a slight step down from the PC version because I don't know.
1080p. Wow. Ha 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 ha.
That's all it is.
Saints Row, no. Not interested.
Saints Row, no, not interested. All right.
If I'm desperate for something to play, maybe, because look at what happened. Like The Last of Us, like so many people got that. But The Last of Us was actually a good game compared to Saints Row, so
Yeah, but
I won't get offended right there, Trent.
I'm going to get The Last of Us, but I'm just saying, compared to Saints Row and Sleeping Dogs, they go in that pile of trash.
No. Oh, he called it pile of trash. All right.
I'll just play it on a PC.
All right, Lynn. I saved the best for last. Lynn, what is your opinion on these many remakes coming out? Uh-oh, there's the laugh! Oh my
Um, okay. Initially, when I heard about that was their big reveal is a reboot of Saints Row. Like, really, people, what? Ah, this is so frustrating. It is beyond frustrating. It doesn't make a lick of sense. It's very. You know what? I can't really say much on it because if people are going to buy it, then that's exactly what they're going to do. That is what these companies are going to do. They're going to continue to do this. It's going to be a trend. They're going to continue to do it because it's cheaper and they can make more money. You know, all this double dipping and going into people's pockets and stuff to buy a game that you have on a previous gen console is ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. You might as well throw some microtransactions in with it too. Because, you know, I mean, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm so sick and tired of this. You know, and I'm speaking with my wallet. I'm not buying it. You know, and like I said, you know, this is my opinion. You know, those that may feel that this is a great idea, you know, more power to you guys. You know, I'm not knocking anybody's decision if this is what they choose to do. But as far as me and my house, we will not see a Saints Row 4 in here on the PlayStation 4. That ain't happening. It's not. And I'm done. I will not buy a remake stuff. Now, like I said, you may look at me as being a bit contradictory because I'm buying, you know, the yeah. I'm getting that. I'm getting the Halo, you know, but I've never owned all the Halo games. That's number one. And number two, you get a crap ton of variety and things for your money. It is really cool how they're putting this out for the price of a regular video game with the ton of things that you're getting with it. And the versatility of how you can play it. So that, if you're doing that with your game, definitely I'm all for it. But for you to just remake it, just to put it on a different console, it's the same crap but on a different console, nah, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. There has to be a time where you have to step back and say no.
Exactly.
Okay.
I got a quick question right quick.
Yeah.
If do y'all think if the Xbox One and PS4 was backwards compatible, do you think it would still be making the remakes, and do you think they would sell?
No.
Nope.
Because there would be no reason to get the PS4 version if you could just put your PS3 disc in the PS4 and play the game. It wouldn't make any sense. Some people, again, I'm not going to put it, some people will do it. Some people will buy the game again. But for the majority, I don't think people would be like, they'd be like, why would I buy a upgraded version when I can just play this version and save my $60 for a new IP?
Yeah, graphics don't matter. People just play it again.
No, but okay. What if they do? What if they do this? What if they do what they did with The Last of Us, where if you trade in the PS3 version of the game, you get the upgraded thing, but you only pay $10 or $20 or however much it was.
That would make sense. I mean, that would make more sense than them just putting out a remake and charge you $60 for it, especially when the PC version, you could go on Steam right now and get it for like $15. You get all the DLC, you get everything for a lot cheaper than what you've been paying $60 for a full game that you already had a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't make sense for them to do the upgrade. If they did the upgrade thing, I would have no problems with it. Oh, I'm all for it. But you charging $60 for remaster for games that came out already. That's not even a year old or 2 years old.
But I feel like, okay, my opinion on this is that, look, as much as I hate remakes and stuff, there are some games that I would love remade. I mean, there's no problem with that. Like, I would love a next-gen Red Dead Redemption or you know, I don't mind Grand Theft Auto 5, or I don't mind, I would like Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix to come to the PlayStation 4, but no, you had to put it on the wrong system. What is wrong with you? Whatever.
Some people are saying they may do it when 3 comes out on
They
and it'll be on
better.
Xbox One and PS4, but that'll be in the future. We'll be like
They better.
years
I don't
old.
even care if it looks like the PS3 graphics. I just want it to be playable on my PS4. That's all I want.
Dang.
But look, I'm sorry. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I need Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry. I love Kingdom Hearts. I don't care. Anyways, excuse me. See, that's the only thing I'm upset about. Look, there will be some. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say I will straight up not buy no remakes. No, I'm not gonna say that. I will buy remakes to certain games. If I haven't played this game in like many years, or it's been a while, and and I really kind of get that itch to want to play it again, and plus they're adding all this extra content that I never got before, I'm like, oh, cool, sure, I'm down for it. But when it comes to a game that just came out look, Sleeping Dogs is a good game. It's a good game. Will I buy it this gen? No. It needs to stay in last gen. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. And same thing with Saints Row 4. That needs to stay last gen. If anything, if you wanted to remake a game, remake Saints Row 2. That was everybody's favorite. And actually fix the glitches this time. Anyways, remake a game that's like 4 years old. Not a year old. 4 years old, that's fine. Things like that. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to see games that are remakes that you can get cheaper either on Steam. And if it's exclusive, you can get it at GameStop for $12, same price or whatever. Yeah. So I'm very upset, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I would not buy a remaster of something, but I'm not getting Saints Row 4. I think what was the worst thing about this announcement was the fact that they tricked their fans to making it seem like it was something bigger than what it was, and instead they showed it's Saints Row 4. I was thinking it was going to be Saints Row 5. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, there's going to be a next-gen Saints Row. But no. They gave us Saints Row 4 for next-gen. That is all they did. And
but you know what's crazy, Will? The fact that nobody's complaining about it. No one's saying anything about a Saints Row game that looks like it's running on last-gen hardware. And that's the atrocity. Because then, if you are an owner of the PS4 or the Xbox One, what's the point of you buying it if you ain't going to say nothing about a Saints Row 4 possibly coming to that console? It makes no sense at all. I mean, I understand that you like what you like, but, I mean, does it really advance the culture? Does it really advance the system that you just bought? And do you get validation out of it when you're seeing PS3 and Xbox 360 graphics on a new console?
Yeah. But how would you guys feel about remakes if the prices were, instead of it being a full price game, that they charged you $29.99 and they still added all the DLC? How would you feel about remakes then? Would you be buying them?
Release it on last gen. Release it on last gen. It's a price.
I'll buy it when it goes on sale, like I'm gonna do the game I'm talking about. The Last of Us. I'm waiting for it to be on sale. I don't want to pay $40 for it.
Yeah, neither
50,
do I.
whatever.
Sorry.
I'll wait till
brother.
I'll probably catch it on a deal. Black Friday is coming up, so yeah.
Yeah, they're
keeping a watch.
They're keeping watch on it, because if I see that game for $20, that would be the time when I hop on it, because I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a good price. It's just because the game is still too new for me, and stuff like that.
It's very new to me. I got it when I had a PS4. I played it in February for the first time, so.
Okay, all right. But I guess, this episode is technically shorter than all of our other episodes, but does anybody have anything that they want to add before we end the show?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
It's about this remake. Do you guys feel like that these developers, the publishers, whoever, they're doing this now, like they're jumping on it now due to the fact of how well The Last of Us did and how big of a game GTA is, and the potential cash flow that Rockstar can produce? Do you think that that's why they're jumping in this remaster train?
Well, I think that this is what happened with the remastered train. This is what I believe is the cause of all this. GTA 5 didn't have enough time to shine last gen, and neither did The Last of Us. So it makes sense that those games got remastered to the next gen, because that way that people that didn't get a chance to, they didn't want to buy a PS3 or Xbox 360 or whatever, or people were assuming that a remaster was in the works, so they waited. The thing is that this is why I think all the remasters are happening. Is because everybody quickly spent their money on a promise called Greatness Awaits. And then all they're doing is that since Sony is buying time, they're giving us all these remasters, since the big stuff like The Last of Us and GTA 5 got such a positive reaction. That is the reason why they're making remake after remake after remake after remake after remake. Because Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, sold pretty well. I don't think it sold like the great, but it sold pretty well for a remake. So that was more money in their pocket for just a slight upgrade in graphics, which was pretty much none in their part. Except for the face, yeah, it's all in the face. They gave Lara more face. That's all they did. No, but I'm just saying, like, seriously, because we are put into a position that there is no games for us to buy. So people people want to play on their PlayStation 4s. People want to play on their Xbox Ones. So what people are going to do is they get desperate. They feel like they get pushed into a corner, and they will cave in and they'll buy the remake to hold them over. Because if you have money like that, let's say you got a job, you got extra money, you got laying down, and you're like, I feel like playing a game. Is there nothing new? I might as well get this to hold me over until October, when something that I actually want comes out. So like PlayStation doesn't have anything on. Well, it has like The Evil Within and stuff like that, but like it doesn't have an actual exclusive until November, and that's pretty sad. So that's my opinion on it.
Drive Club is in October.
Oh yeah, Drive Club is in October.
But I guess you don't want to really count that as racing game.
I don't know. I'm just saying. What I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't know who's checking for Drive Club.
Yeah, Drive Club. So yeah, I just forgot because we're getting it for free,
game.
and I feel like it's not gonna. I don't know. I feel like Drive Club is not gonna meet everybody's hype potential.
Yeah.
Look at what happened when they delayed Watch Dogs. Nothing.
Yeah, The Crew and Drive Club are two different games, so I think a lot of people don't realize that.
But the Drive Club is a game that is like an arcade game. It's like an arcade racer, and The Crew is
it's more of an open world RPG game. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called in the description if you look it up.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know what's gonna do better. I think The Crew is gonna sell well because it's a Ubisoft game.
Plus, it's on more platforms.
Ubisoft still got that dark cloud hovering over them.
Watch Dogs.
They do.
It did so well.
Watch Dogs. The reason why it did so well was because there was no games, and then they didn't show it.
I think it was overhyped.
It's like people got tricked to liking it. Like I tricked myself to like what I saw. And the thing is that I hate myself for it because I was looking at it because they showed it last minute. They finally showed it last minute what it actually looked like 2 weeks before it came out. And because I already had the game fully pre-ordered and paid for and whatever, when I got the game, I tricked myself to like it. Then it got like a good review, like an 8.5, whatever it got. And then when I actually got the game in my hands, it didn't feel like no 8.5. It felt more like a 7. That's all I'm saying. That's just my opinion. If you guys love Watch Dogs, you love Watch Dogs. That's fine. But me, it felt like a piece of trash that was just like. I'm not even gonna say anymore. I'm done.
Believe it or not, people are probably still playing it.
No, there are people that are playing it. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm
10 of them. They're playing online right now. All 10 of them.
No, there's people that are playing it. I mean, I have friends that are playing free roam, but I'm like, what is there to free roam? That's not fun. I mean, like GTA. I would rather look. The thing, GTA's free roam is fun. You know,
Thing
there's
was,
things you
yeah,
can
they
do.
keep adding stuff.
And they keep adding stuff. But with Watch Dogs, it's a lifeless city with dead people pretty much just walking in like the
Okay.
zombified state.
Okay.
You know,
I'm
I don't
so
want to.
sorry for bringing it up. I'm
Look,
sorry.
I'm
You can
sorry.
say
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be such a hater on Watch Dogs, but the thing is that Ubisoft literally lost me with that game. And even though I'm kind of excited for Assassin's Creed Unity, and I'm excited for it was just that one game that was a massive flop to me, and I think it's not fair because I'm judging the company harshly because of one game that they failed at. But it was always something that they did on all their other games, and it felt like they just copied and pasted all the Watch Dogs and just threw hacking in the mix with crappy graphics from last gen. I'm sorry.
It was bland. It was too bland. It was just too bland. Like I'm like, okay, y'all made hacking seem like it was going to be this awesome thing that you could do. You could jump in your friend's world, do X, Y, and Z. You can't even jump in your friend's world. It has to be a stranger. I'm like, what is the fun? What fun is that? I wouldn't be able to go into my friend's world, hack him, and then send him a message like, "Hi, I hacked you." You know, it has fun like that. Like they just, I don't know. Ubisoft. I hope the crew. I hope every other game coming out. Please, I hope to God that the Division doesn't fall into this track. The Division is such a game that everybody wants. Everybody has their eye on.
It seems like it's going to be the new Watch Dogs.
If
It's so far away.
If it pulls a Watch Dogs, I'm done with Ubisoft as well. Like
no,
Ubisoft,
the thing is that the thing is that I'm not setting my hopes too high on any Ubisoft game ever again. Like I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. The thing is that their games go cheap like 2 months later, and then they go like to $40. So I'd be like, you know what? I could wait on a Ubisoft game. But the thing is that like, look, here I am having a dilemma on what should I get, Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or whatever.
See.
So you know, Ubisoft does have that little hold on me, but I'm learning to control myself. But when it comes to, look, the thing is that there are Ubisoft's 4 biggest games is Assassin's Creed, the Far Cry, the Rainbow Six Siege, which Dirty's like dying for, and the Division. And I feel like these games could be the step in the right direction, but already Assassin's Creed is getting flack for not having any female playable characters, and this is like what, the 8th or 7th entry of this. And they have a female director.
Game with a female character on the PS Vita.
Yeah, and look how well that sold. That didn't sell anything because it didn't sell. You know, and then they moved it to PS3, but you know, it was too late because the game was such crap to begin with. I mean, I'm sorry. The controls were awful. The place was blank. I'm sorry. I hate to be such a harsh person, and I don't mean to be harsh.
You played it?
I played it. Yeah, I played it.
Did the people do what they did in Black Flag when you hit the ground? They all look at you all at once like robots.
Yes.
That game is creepy, man.
Yes.
All the Assassin's Creed games.
You don't realize how creepy that stuff is when you fall and you're like, and they all look at you like with this evil.
All at the same time. They just all got quiet and looked at me, and I'm like, what the hell?
They're all singing songs and saying, "I rubbed your spoon," and then they all look at you like, what?
But I do have some Ubisoft news. Actually, Assassin's Creed not Black Flag, Unity will be pushed back 2 weeks. I thought it was going to be about 6 months, but it's only going to be 2 weeks. Also, you will still be able to get Assassin's Creed Rogue for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, but it will come out 2 weeks later. They want to launch these things at the same time, so last-gen gamers won't feel like there's no Assassin's Creed game that they can get on their console.
Oh, well. More time, more. You know what? I'm kind of glad that they pushed it back, was because I want to be able to see the reviews of Far Cry and Assassin's Creed at the same time, so that way I could just have my decision. That's it. So I can have a decision, like be like, Far Cry didn't do too well. I might as well get Assassin's Creed, or Assassin's Creed is a piece of crap. Might as well just get Far Cry 4. That's just it. But anyways, does anybody have anything else that they would like to add before we end the episode?
Super Smash Bros. Brawl is having the midnight release, October 3rd.
Yeah! Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I will be going to that, by the way. if my
Smash
GameStop has.
Brothers?
Yeah, Smash Brothers is having a midnight release.
Didn't you told me, Mr. GameStop, that you shop there a lot, I know. But you said that if you pre-order a game at that GameStop, you have to get it at that GameStop. You can't go to another one.
No, you can, but you have to go to that GameStop, tell them to transfer that purchase over to the other store. But yes, you can.
Oh, cool.
But you have to go to that GameStop, and then they'll call the other GameStop, and then they'll, I guess, I don't know exactly the process, but they do transfer your pre-order over to the other store.
Yeah, because like you said, if one GameStop is not doing a midnight release, but another one is, you could just get it at the one that is.
Well, normally this is what happens. If your GameStop is not having a midnight release, they do, like, because this is what happened with the Vita. They weren't having a midnight release at my GameStop. So what they did was that to all the customers that they called or called in and asked about it, they tell them what GameStop is having a midnight release. So they take multiple GameStops and then they put it into one store, one major store that has like the biggest parking lot or something.
Okay.
And then they do the midnight release there. So that's how they do it. At least that's how they do it here.
I may do a Destiny one.
I'm gonna go to the Destiny one. I'm gonna go to the Destiny one. They say that they're gonna have DJs and all that stuff. Watch me be disappointed. Yes, they say.
Yeah, I'm going to mine.
They don't never have stuff like that at my GameStop.
I'm going to that one.
I live in Albuquerque, and I know that Halo's gonna have one too. Because every time when it's Halo, Grand Theft Auto, Madden, when it's those three games,
Man, just came out.
I don't think Madden got good. Yeah, they always have a DJ, but it's never as cool as they make it sound.
I mean, if you live in New York City, I mean, they do it real big in Times Square.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Oh, you guys are you lucky people. I want to go.
It'd be so packed. It'd be so packed, but it'd be so fun because they be having a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they have like, oh, okay, it's just some random person playing DJs. No, they actually have tournaments.
Yes.
You can play the game before. They actually start selling it.
Oh my God, it sucks here.
They'll let you play it on the side of the building, on the plasma, on the side of the building. The huge screen on the building, they'll let you play it there too.
Oh my God! And the best thing about, like having a midnight release in like California or New York is that the chances are of the actual actors or the actual creators of the game being there or celebrities being there, like, because it's like a really big game, so like you actually get to meet the voice actors, get t-shirts, merchandise, all this stuff at this event. But my freaking GameStop, I'm waiting in line 2 hours outside of the store until they decide to open the door, and I just pick it up and leave. That's why I stopped going to midnight releases, because they got boring, because like people are very antisocial here, and I'm like,
they're antisocial everywhere.
I know, but like if you go to a place like New York, people like are vocal in New York. People will talk to you in New York. And there's all types of nerds in New York. So, like,
you even gotta say now, or you could just walk into the crowd and just be like, PlayStation or Xbox. You get like everybody just start blowing up and start talking.
Yeah, exactly.
You be in a conversation for hours, not even knowing that, here's your game. You in the conversation, like, you lose track of time that quick.
I know. And, like, you lose track of time. You're like, damn, it's 12 o'clock. It's midnight already? They're letting us in? Oh, my God. But here I am talking, because the thing is that the only thing that I don't like about sending in big lines, the idea is the fact that I have to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to leave the line. And even though that they probably have, like, porta potties during that day and stuff, ew, I don't want to smell that. Because you know that some nerds just be stinking. They just go in the line and they don't take a shower, nothing, and they just like there. Anyway, yeah, that's like at every convention, at everything. There's always gonna be that one person that smelled like onions because they didn't put deodorant on, or. I don't know. Anyways, I guess we're gonna end the show here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, which was pretty much 85% Nintendo. So thank you so much.
Nintendo!
All right, so would we say it's safe to say that Nintendo got games?
They got games.
Okay. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to follow all of us on our individual channels, and be sure to keep watching Gamers Nation. We will be having an episode on Monday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Later.